Oh boy, it's gonna be one of those days.
Yes, it will. Hey,
Hello,
everybody.
everyone. Hi. Hey.
Welcome to the Unreal Engine Weekly Twitch live stream. I'm Community Manager Chance Ivy here with Engine Support Tech Alexander Pascal, Technical Director Mike Fricker, and General Manager Ray Davis.
Hello.
We are back to talk about 4.9 finally. I know we've had quite a few previews out for the last few weeks. It's just been kind of hectic over here. We've been trying to set this up for a while, and I'm finally glad that we can get some information out to you all. So look out for it next week-ish is what we're aiming at.
Next week
so
is the aim.
yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty close, right?
Goal.
Yeah, unless the whole thing blows up, then you guys should be having the production release in your hands this time next week. So real quick, off to the news, shall we? Dun, dun. All right. Oh, that's neat. See, all right. So first up, we mentioned we were at SIGGRAPH last week, and they, recognized Boy and His Kite for the Best Real-Time Graphics and Interactivity Award. So we're super humbled to receive that. That's really great. Congratulations to the entire team that worked on it. I mean, it was a bit of an undertaking here at Epic getting that thing ready for
for
a piece of cake.
for GDC.
Several months of intense development. No big deal.
I tell you, man, watching Kim Library during that project was one of my favorite memories of my entire life.
Well, you remember too, like, we rode up to GDC, like, we were doing all kinds of crazy things, but the kite cinematic, it's like 30 odd people, and then we kept getting struck by ice storms. We had people sleeping at the office because we were afraid they wouldn't be able to get in the next day, right?
There was that one time where it's like, what if power goes out? What if you're at home and you can't get in and your power goes out? And it's like, we had to ship stuff out to GDC and it was getting stuck because the trucks couldn't leave, right?
Yeah. It's one of those fun things when you work for like a games company and you're like, yeah, your job right now is to go to REI and buy as many sleeping bags as you can.
I think that kind of fueled the melancholy of the demo because so much of it was developed under like snow and booze.
You're gonna need a lot of drinks to counteract the snow.
Yeah, I love how like when that happens around here, it first turns into like a little bit of cabin fever and then almost Lord of the Flies. Like nobody knows who is in charge of what and everything's just running room to room trying to find food.
But thankfully it paid off, and yeah, we're very proud of what the team was able to accomplish, right? And
definitely.
It's great to get the recognition, right?
Yeah, and rolling through here, there's Nick giving his talk. Hopefully to have the slides up from all these as well. We did a number of talks at SIGGRAPH, some great things. Daniel Wright, Nick, and Ray was on actually you're at Kessler Connect, so we'll get to that in here in a second. But down here you'll see, Kite actually was in a number of different film festivals as well. It's all up on our blog. If you head that way, you can dive in and see everything about it. Cool. So congrats to the team.
Yep. My favorite demo that we've done so far.
Yeah, and it's incredible.
I think it's one of my favorite as well because we got like a sort of an emotional message in there, and I think it was one of the few demos out of Epic Games that isn't all violence.
It's all shooty, right?
And we didn't end it with a giant robot screaming in your face or some sort of monster, right?
Well, the version I have does have that.
But we should do like a mashup of like Showdown versus Kite.
Killer Kite.
Yeah, well, it's funny when we released the demo, there was one of the forum members had started putting the boy and the deer into all these insane situations. He's like sitting down with like a rifle over his shoulder covered in deer blood.
Someone immediately picked up the demo and swapped out the deer for zombies and replayed it. Oh, it was great. I love that.
But on that note, you were out at Casual Connect, around the same time.
So the majority of the team was down in LA for SIGGRAPH, and then I went with a few other guys in San Francisco Casual Connect. It's traditionally been a mobile conference, and there's a lot of emphasis more, I would say, on the business of mobile there, so it was kind of interesting to be there. I gave a presentation on VR and visual programming, just sort of our experiences building VR content, and we all love blueprints and back in the day Kismet, so I wanted to kind of spread the gospel of, hey guys, dragging and dropping is so awesome, you should try it. Did that and had joined on a panel too, which was kind of fun because the guy sitting next to me was from Unity, and then had a guy over here from Google, I forget his name, Noah Faustine. He's like the chief game designer at Google these days, but he started the game industry like when we were born, I think even before you were born, so it was kind of weird to be side by side, but it was really cool. We had a lot of fun conversations about future of VR and AR and where things may or may not go, so it's cool.
That's great. Yeah, you mentioned visual programming. I mean, I know a lot of people that got involved in just any sort of engineering with that. I remember back in college, round one for me, like 13, 14 years ago, where I was using tools that were specifically that to solve problems using blocks to be able to visualize logic better, and I love seeing that coming to games in such a widespread way now that it makes things so much easier.
Yeah, especially coming from the art side of things and then trying to move into it. For me,
exactly
that was like the biggest thing for me. It was like, as an artist, I'm like, I can't program, but I can read this like a sentence.
The best thing about visual programming, it makes the structure and the flow of logic kind of like a first class in your face. But Mike can attest to this. I know, like, when I used to write code in massive libraries, I would have that internal map anyways, right? And so I think it just, it helps a lot of people kind of get to that same step of understanding how everything fits together, right?
Yeah, and you can iterate so quickly. There's really no syntax errors.
Yeah.
It's fun for prototyping.
Well, and I imagine a lot of our audience too is like that once you get kind of mastery of blueprints, you know how things sort of fit together. I get in this sort of Zen-like flow, which is not unlike that happens in programming as well, right? And it's just so rewarding of like drag, drop, and you just got... For my presentation, I actually had fun. I did a little time lapse of me modifying one of our templates, and it was just a lot of fun to see how like the flow of it comes out to it. I don't know. It just goes back to making sure. Obviously, playing games is fun, but creating games can be fun as well, right?
Yeah. So. And then Andrew's auto align on Blueprint.
Oh my god!
Just pushed out that
life changing.
OCDs and reroute nodes. I'm still not embraced those yet, but every time I see somebody who's a master of them, it's like so clean and organized. Oh my god.
All right. So next piece of news we got up. Preview 4 is out now. You can go download it. There's a number of fixes in here. You can check out the post from Steven.
It's just amazing how many things get done per preview.
Oh yes. Yeah.
I think we're down to just 4 bugs today. So
it was it was like 5 this morning, 4 now.
Yep.
Yeah.
It'll be out next week.
Somebody did something.
Yeah, they did a thing. Get down.
All right.
Cool.
So download that and check it out. Also, we barely missed the announcement last week. It came online right afterwards, but the Arc Dev Kit is now in the launcher, and they've got a mod contest announced with Alienware. So there's all kinds of prizes to win here. I think $25,000 in cash and prizes. It goes on. I
love the future of reality TV here, right? This is awesome.
Oh yeah,
Survivor the way we wanted it to be, not that BS with voting.
Yeah, and they also announced their survival of the fittest mode inside the game. So it's still in early access, but this is, we're getting feature over feature over feature over feature into this thing, and it's just a great example of how to build a moddable UE for a game. And you can now download the launcher or their editor directly from the launcher. Before it was the GitHub and through Steam kind of together.
It was a little challenging, but
It was funky before. It's good now. It's a little large of a download, but we're gonna work on that with them.
Well, so the download's so large because it has 100% of the content that's in the game. It's like, here's game. It's
the very raw stuff too. Yeah.
And right now we're doing quite a bit of research and a little bit of development on making the entire moddable games building process quite a bit easier. A good friend of y'all's in the community, name might rhyme with Rom Truman, is working on a number of things specifically around mods too. So keep an eye out for that in the future. I really want to participate in this. I don't know that I can, but at least I'm going to go around and tinker with it when I get some time.
You can participate, you just can't win. Sorry, dude.
Yeah, that's okay. Thanks, Ray.
Yeah, you're welcome.
For crashing my dreams. All right, and on other contest news, Vineyard Challenge is still going on. I know we talk about it every couple weeks or so, but it's a long one. There's still time to hop in. I think the deadline is September 15th, so everyone's got just about a month, a little less than that. If you're architectural visualization, master, you can still hop in and take advantage of some of the prizes we got coming in here. So we're really excited to see what's already being created. I know Wyatt's been kicking around some of the works in progress, and there's some awesome projects coming out of it. So I can't wait to see how it all turns out. But
final results,
yeah. Really fun stuff.
Cool.
All right, so Alexander and I have been listening to a lot of you, and you've been all saying, we want to be recognized for our Answer Hub and stuff. It's like, we want you to be, and we just don't have the tools to do it. Well, we kind of do now.
We do now, yay.
Yeah, so we've got this week's top karma earners, and we're going to try to highlight these every single week on the
I
stream.
haven't seen this yet.
Yeah,
so it's really cool.
So up on the Answer Hub, if anybody wants to go check this out at any given point, you can see who's gained the most karma in like the past 7 days. So it's like a weekly accumulation. And so you can see here, it's we got Mr. Gurr, Ian Labrie, and Shadow River.
Of course, Shadow River.
Yeah, Shadow River's all over the
Always
place.
around there. So I know a few people out there, Aller, have been asking for badges for this as well. So we're looking at right now getting together what that looks like and how it how it scales, how we roll it out to everybody. And right now, the way we're going to approach it is right before the stream on Thursdays, we're going to open this page, and the top 3 that are on there, those are the people that are going to get them. So. So Mr. Gurr, Ian Labrie, and Shadow River will be getting the first badges. And I know there was a couple of screenshots from last week. If you've still got those, shoot them over to us, and we'll be moving forward with it. Hopefully by the end of the week, we'll have the assets ready for the forums, and we'll be rolling them out to everybody. So
yeah, it's going to be those badge hunters out there are going to start hitting it up. I know. All right, badge hunters, go for it.
I think people like Aller and Xanome and Fighter are going to have way too much. But anyway, so head on over there. If you're on there, take a look, find yourself. It's great.
Do you guys you haven't talked about what we're doing next with Answer Hub, right?
Which is the next thing?
Well, I saw some very pretty usability overhauls and stuff that we're talking about.
Steven's testing that right now.
So I've seen those things.
Yeah.
I just didn't know how close they are to actually.
At some point in the future, we're going to make
born. I'm going to break open a little egg, and that little dinosaur is going to look at the light for the first time,
and then try to eat you. Yes.
Yes, we're doing a visual overhaul of a number of our sites over time, and Answer Hub is one of them. We know that there's some usability issues with it, but
and that's the other thing too. Answer Hub has always kind of felt as this weird disconnected thing, and we have a lot of ideas of how to make it all cohesive, better tied in with docs and tutorials and all that as well. So
definitely,
hopefully more to talk about that soon.
Yeah, and there's even bigger plans that are about cohesiveness of all of our sites, right? Too that we can hopefully start chatting about it one time.
Cool.
So, yay! All right. Another thing too, a lot of you have been on our Reddit site before. It's Unreal Engine or reddit.com/Unreal Engine.
r/Unreal Engine, because I do that too all the time, and it's like,
it
nope,
really doesn't work
does
out
not connect if you don't do that R.
Mike's been on there quite a bit since launch. And we've kind of come back at it now and done a few renovations to it. We have Zero Yuri 78. We made him a moderator, and he's been doing a fantastic job at getting things, getting news spread out there. You see Tom Lumen in here posting as well. So Alex is going to be a little more involved in here. I am as well. We'd love to hear your feedback on what you would want to see in Reddit. I know a lot of people don't spend time there, but a lot of people do. So if you're part of the standard game dev community that uses Reddit, and you can find better value in the Unreal Engine for Reddit, we are open to suggestions. We are happy to hear your feedback, and we want to kind of find you where you are, right? And if this is a place that you're going to want to organize and ask questions and find help, we want to see how we can better support you there. So take a look and let us know what you think.
Yeah, we'll also be doing little announcements and stuff. So
like today's 4.9 preview.
Look at that. You guys should all go and check that out.
All right, this came across from Alexiar, evangelist out in Eastern Europe, and every Casual Connect, we've got the Indie Prize events or Indie Prize awards, and Playing Alpha 31 won a couple of them, and the Casual Connect Asia. Well, there's one in Tel Aviv coming up in October, and they have a due date on September 1st here. You can submit your game for a number of different categories: best game audio, most innovative game, best game design. There's lots of different awards out there to win. So we encourage you, if you're working on something great that you're ready to share with the world, please go ahead and submit. There's lots of exposure from the Casual Connect team. They spread this information everywhere. And
it was one of my favorite parts of Casual Connect in between doing presentations was going to the little indie section, talking to developers, hearing the story. It's so fun to have that sort of conversation and see something that especially you can tell always pour your heart and soul into, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's some great games, right? Lots of cool stuff. So
definitely
get your stuff in there.
Yeah, and it's out in Tel Aviv, which I hear is kind of rad too. So
right.
Have not been, but want to. All right, and at SIGGRAPH last week, we did our very first Periscope. So you'll probably see us a little bit more active on that, especially at events that we have an employer or two at. It's kind of hanging out, talking about really cool things. Dana was out at SIGGRAPH, and she was like, you know what, I'm going to record this real quick and see how it goes. And it's really great for us back at the studio because we can't be on the ground there with them, but we're hoping to do a lot more of these at events that we're at, like GDC or at E3, Casual Connect even. I just grab the account and just hop in and say, hey, I'm Ray, I'm walking down and watching this weird guy show me his strange game, right? So but yeah, so if you're not following us on Twitter, definitely do that and check out, watch out for our Periscope streams. We might even be doing more from inside the building just because that'll be fun.
Well, we could do one right now and be super meta about it, right?
Well, and I'm installed. Oh my God.
Just have Shelly run one, and Shelly can do a Periscope of us doing the stream.
We actually joked about Periscoping the entire setup of the stream. It's like
it's without audio, right?
We would need someone to go over and censor everything.
I would say
someone has a potty mouth.
I don't know what you're talking about. All right, so in other Epic news, we've got UT event next month. It's their Capture the Flag exhibition. So they're flying in a number of players from around the world. to come just take place in a huge tournament with the UT devs.
Yeah.
And they're actually recruiting 2 more people, so they're taking submissions for a couple more to fill out the entire roster.
Cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great event. I'm gonna swing by and just kind of hang out. I could play with them, but it would be comical because last time I played UT here, I mean it's really bad. But last time I played UT3, like in a decent competitive mode.
Your skills are really bad. Just to clarify.
They're terrible.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what he's trying to say.
Okay.
Yeah, they're miserable. So I just will probably be fly on the wall.
And they're also having another kind of tournament tomorrow, aren't they, or something like that?
I don't know.
They're doing something
Yeah,
tomorrow
really
that's supposed to be kind of exciting because I was watching their stream yesterday. So
Oh, right on.
yeah.
Cool. So keep an eye out for that.
Play with Dev.
Yeah, they have
Oh.
a hub. If you open UT on the launcher, you can play with the devs in it.
Oh, right on.
Ooh, okay, so it's a
Cool.
play with the
devs on the
devs
launcher.
tomorrow.
Very
Yeah,
cool. And just wanted to call out real quick, PAX is next week. We don't have a large Unreal Engine presence there, but Will Kinsler and the Fortnite team is going to be out there on the floor. Keep an eye out for him. You should all know what he looks like now. And he's going to be giving out swag, and just follow the Twitter account /Fortnite game to find out what all they're up to. And the last little bit of news here, I wanted to call out Master
Rigel.
Rigel.
He,
Yeah,
he doesn't know what Master Rigel. He's
I
never
don't-
watched the
sorry.
show. Don't mind him.
I'm not that. I'm not that great. Master Rigel has been helping out with documentation feedback, like to a very extensive level. Jeff Wilson was like, "Hey, this guy's awesome. What can we do for him?" So I just really wanted to call him out. He's now an engine contributor here, and
Yep, great.
And yeah, Alex is going to hook him up with some swag.
Yeah,
so
probably
thank
gonna
you so
ship
much
him out
for
some
your
stuff
help.
soon.
Yeah, it's been really great. If you didn't know, we have like a documentation specific feedback section on the forum that shows where things are out of date or where things might be a little bit misleading, and it's been super helpful. So thank you very much for your contributions.
I love the 90s style shout outs we've been doing, like Ryan Seacrest does. It's like, here's our friend here, and here's a little what?
Out.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry, Alexander.
Different generation, I guess. I saw there will be some epic, like I'll be floating around PAX, and Paul, Virgil, kind of like you'll see some epic folks around. We're just not having a booth this year, so
Definitely.
But yeah.
All right. Oh, and real quick before we move over to the Game Jam stuff, there's a couple of new pieces of news I don't really have links for yet. We have a seller's publishing portal coming online very soon, as in like probably the next couple days.
Yep.
So definitely be a lookout on that if you're a marketplace creator. This is really going to impact you, and you'll see a full blog, full rollout of that. We'll actually highlight it again in fully featured next week. So keep a lookout for that. And we have a number of Unreal Dev Grants announcements going out next week as well. So I know a lot of people have been asking about them. Some of them have gone out silently. We can't talk about every project that comes across.
Yeah.
But these are all people. Actually, a lot of these guys are from the community. You probably know a lot of them. And so, yeah, keep an eye out for that. Actually, some of you are probably in the chat today. So anyway, keep an eye out for that. That should be coming over the next few days, or probably early next week is kind of the goal. So.
Cool.
All right, that wraps it for the news. On to Community Spotlight, which is Game Jam.
All right.
So, yeah, last week we kicked off the Game Jam. It was thrown in at the deep end. It was kind of around the Submerged team. They were on here showing off their game.
We got a lot of nautical-themed games.
Yes. We had 35 submissions that we could actually get. There were a few that came through that we couldn't quite download because the link was bad, or they may have been not Unreal Engine 4. So
Nope.
Let's take a look real quick at the games that were built in just a little over 3 days. Shelley's got the reel on standby.
Yeah. I love the rock basketball. It's so great.
I know. Rocks do fly like that underwater.
Oh, okay. I'll take your word for it. The bagged fish. This was really silly.
Okay, I get it. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Go Nemo, go.
The bagfish. I just got it myself.
That one was terrifying.
Yeah,
that
some
that one
creepy
was
underwater
really
yeah,
creepy.
Electrotronics always got really great mood, games.
The atmosphere was killer. That was such a silly one. Those redfish are deadly.
That's funny. So Chancellor's Coxsmith.
Yeah. This one was called Sir Chance, by the way. Yeah.
I see.
That
Well,
was a relaxing
I haven't been
one.
knighted yet. I'm waiting on that. Gone down to
God, I just had flashbacks of the Van Bleer game. What was that called?
Ridiculous Fishing?
Ridiculous Fishing.
Yeah.
God, I must have put hundreds of hours into that thing. What the hell?
Whoa.
Oh yeah,
This
that
is
one
the
was really
fisherman's-
cool.
This is
Yeah.
a fisherman's dream, but I don't know.
It ends
I
up
used to
being
fish,
you.
and I've had dreams or nothing like that.
What
yeah.
the heck is this?
Chasing one Solaris.
Crazy
Yeah.
kayak.
It's just some of the games that was
Oh.
definitely what I was like. This was
Ah.
actually really
Very
scary.
Battletoads-y.
That was really creepy game right
Yeah,
there.
the last one was like wind tunnel, right?
Yeah.
Oh god, wind tunnel.
Battle boats? This is an awesome idea.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah, it's like Twisted Metal but on boats. Booty roll.
That was really nice.
Oh, wow.
Hockey grunts.
Yeah, someone went into space instead of into the ocean. That was different. And a couple of them were space themed.
It's still the deep.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It is.
Deep.
That's good.
I recognize
That one had kind of like a
material.
Bioshocky kind of thing going on.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was hard. I managed to actually beat the level, but it was hard. This is so much fun. This is like a done game.
What are you? You're mechanics here. Okay. Pirate ships.
Advance. Skull
Yeah.
Kitty back at it again.
Yeah.
Mini map and everything.
Life of a lifeguard.
They were so cute, those little dudes.
That's a good idea. Double trouble.
I think I got lost for a while while playing that. That's a very like nice art heavy game. That was unique. Different keys on the keyboard would turn on and off blocks, and you had to kind of figure out what collision to turn on and off.
Kind of like some of those strange games I've seen at Wagos. Yeah.
Just shoving kids. When we announced the theme, I'm like, if someone doesn't make a game where you're just shoving kids into pools, I'm gonna be so sad. And there it was.
I'm just glad we didn't have more Adele rolling in the deep. But like we got one,
Yeah.
bowling in the deep, but
Bowling in the deep.
this one's for Ray.
He swears it's not an intentional pun, but then there's lots of jokes in the actual game.
Whoa, this is awesome.
Yeah, the skydiving was me.
Oh,
I died so many times in the
Yeah.
skydiving one.
That's cool.
Somehow you're not very good at skydiving.
No.
Are those video clips from us playing, or were they
That's-
submitted?
It's him.
That's all you?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's why
that's
like,
why
a lot
he
of them are like
Oh, wait.
losing.
So,
or
yeah, you're not
like-
representing the
or I'm
games.
getting lost and stuff.
I
Like, oh, come on, Alex.
God, if
Yeah,
I
I
was a
actually
developer,
I had
I'd
to
be
try
so
several
pissed,
times.
The
yeah.
best
to
was
get
we had
some-
Into the Stars on. You know,
Oh,
like where
God.
you basically it's like FTL but in 3D.
He's never
and
gonna
like
let me
there's a
live
bunch of
this
other
down.
things, and he's taking the whole colony. It's like a whole colony of people and driving them
Straight
slowly
into
into
the
the
sun.
sun.
Yeah,
And
it
it's
was
like,
great
are
watching
you-
the
are you-
creators like, are you, wait?
And it's like,
yeah, I'm
you
doing
have
it.
died.
in there.
Like everybody died. All right, so Alex, who are the winners?
All right, so our winners are,
Drum roll.
right, it's Escape the Well by SVN is Broken.
All right.
Which was really nice.
That's
like the-
is broken.
Yeah, Super Summer Ninja Pool Party Supreme,
Awesome.
which is long by Team Splash Bully, which is the shoving in the pool game there.
Yep.
Sir Chancellor Cogsmith Into the Deep Boilerplate Studios.
Great.
Cool.
So which one are we gonna play first?
I'm going to do Escape the Well first
All right.
because that was the one that I was.
Are you gonna do some wins when you fly into the sun?
I'm going to try to throw
I
a
will.
squirrel into the sun, I think, is what the plot of this one is.
Okay, great.
I'm gonna guess that he doesn't actually escape the whale. Though. What do you think?
Let's see here.
Oh, they're little.
Start or buy?
Wait a
daffodils.
minute. This one might be a controller only one.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh, we need to grab an Xbox controller.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Preparation. There's one in my office.
Yeah,
I
usually
believe.
there's they're just everywhere, right?
Oh well.
Just kicked me out of the game because I didn't do anything long enough.
All right, hey, go ahead and load up another one. I'm gonna go to the
Yeah.
controller. Shall I come on,
Thanks.
Mike?
Yeah, I didn't even
Yeah.
realize that was the thing. See, that's the thing, is at the time I was just playing with a controller, so it didn't even dawn on me that they would do that.
Yeah.
All right, Sir Chancellor.
Hmm?
Okay.
Alrighty. Alright, so I like that this is the option, like the opening menu is that you have to move your character
Oh
around and
yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
and it
This is fun, yeah.
just light up the credits. Interactive menus, I don't know why, but I'm kind of a sucker for them. They're really
Yeah,
nice.
it's fun.
Alrighty.
Is he's like a little skeleton type dude?
He's like a robot steampunk thing.
Okay, he's got a
yeah.
top hat, right?
Yeah, that's why, I mean, steampunk top hats, everyone has them.
Oh. Whoa.
I think
You
you
fell
read.
inside the whole game.
I won.
You finished it.
Whoa, that did not
No.
happen the first time I ever played this,
Th-
but
this
I've
is a
apparently
this
won.
is a speed run.
Yeah, speed run.
Example.
Like 20 seconds,
I-
done.
I think you fell
Done.
off the main menu. I think
No,
you.
no, I did that on purpose.
I-
Intentionally
I-
won. I am the best
yeah.
at games.
Well,
I
at least
think
we
this
got to
is-
see the ending.
This is a new level of failure. This
He's
is great.
still there.
You missed it. He set a new record of failure
I
chance.
just beat the
He beat
game.
the game.
He fell off the main
I
menu.
I beat the game by hacking through a wall, apparently. Good work, Alex.
You beat the main menu.
Yes. Okay, let's see.
You did
Can
win
you-
that one match in Rising Thunder, though, yeah?
Yeah, I'm glad that you remember that too, at least.
I still have the screenshot of that.
Oh, do you?
Oh wow, Shelly, you documented that for posterity?
Nice.
You're gonna Alt F4 the sucker so we can see the actual game.
Yeah, I was trying to exit it for a minute there. Oh, there we go.
Okay.
All right.
So let's try.
Let's try
the well.
escape the well
Yeah.
again, because now that we have this.
So you beat the other one.
Yeah,
that's
just
all
on to
right.
the
Done.
next.
Don't even have to show anyone what the rest of that was. All right. Here we go. There
Gosh,
we go.
look at that,
was
man.
it. Yeah, very gorgeous art style.
Is he holding on to one of those like little?
Yeah, it's like,
like
a
dandelions?
Yeah, it's
Dandelions.
dandelion
Oh,
poop.
Poop ball
awesome.
things.
And so you're
Oh,
just
You're a
that's
flying
cool.
squirrel.
like you see how seriously like
That's-
polished this
The
is.
animation is amazing.
So good.
Okay, physics.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay, so eventually you pick up these like fireflies, and then you can press X to kind of give yourself an extra boost, and that's actually how you have to get out of the well at the
Dude,
end.
go sell this
No,
game.
no.
And
no,
this is
no.
and this is from
Pretty fun.
SDN is broken.
Yeah, I
So
was.
they must have done this like all ad hoc without.
Yeah,
without
with no source
DSC.
control.
Yeah.
That's a little terrifying.
It's just on a flash drive.
No, it's
we
like,
have the only copy right here.
No, it's like Iron Man mode, right? Yeah,
You're right.
You only die once.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this is great.
Cool.
Yeah, Shelly's telling us that the music is awesome.
This is well done.
A bat.
Oh.
Eventually, a bat starts
Oh,
chasing you, and you
cool.
have to outrun the bat, and the bat is very difficult. but
It's funny
beautiful
because it's
game.
like bat versus
Yeah.
flying squirrel, but bats can really fly and flying squirrels can't really.
Yeah, so that's kind of the advantage it has over you is you have to kind of drift, and he
You
just goes
die.
right at you. So there's the creators have like a playing of it, and that guy is so good just flipping around the bat and stuff. I'm not that good, so
All right.
clearly, let's get out
Cool.
of here.
Can
Good
we
work.
Can we try the other one again where we don't
Yeah,
fail
this
the main
time
menu?
I don't mess it up horribly somehow. Okay, let's see here. Right.
Someone in the chat. This should be on the App Store already. When's the release date?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of what I thought when I was playing through it. It was just like,
I guess
wow,
you
so
could do
much
some good
polish.
touch controls with that
Mhm.
too,
Yeah.
right?
Touch screen with that, done.
All right, let's try Search Ants again.
Yeah, there's every time we get around to the winners, sometimes you just have to go, wow, they could just go sell that.
Okay, don't
Okay.
fall. Don't fall.
Let's do the thing. Okay. This time I think I'm okay.
It's got a controller now, so.
Yeah, I think it likes the controller a little more. Actually, we had several entries that were you specifically needed a controller.
No, this one is. Which one is this one?
This
Search-
is
Search
Search
Chancellor,
Chancellor,
Cogsmith.
Cogsmith.
Yeah.
into the deep.
Yeah, it's right
So-
there. Can't you read, Chance?
How did they know my full? How did they know my full name?
Lots of cinematic stuff. But I like how many like different animations and all the different little elements and stuff. When you actually get into the platforming part of it, and yeah, these nice little cutscenes.
So
We had a lot of good cutscenes in this one. Like people were really going all out, making little matinees and voiceover work. And then yeah, so now there's like puzzles you have to solve, and I shouldn't have picked up that part. I didn't do that. Jesus, Shelly.
Thanks, Shelly.
I'm glad that they
I
did.
think it's just the angle.
Oh.
If y'all
No.
didn't hear,
Okay.
Shelly said the gym is very
The gem.
beautiful.
Oh, watch the wall. You're
Oh,
going
I
outside
did
again.
it. Wow, that's so funny.
You win again.
I've managed to do that somehow.
Boom.
So the whole time I'm playtesting, there must be something wrong with this machine or something. I
A
swear.
Winrar is you.
Yeah.
All right.
Look how good I am at
Cool.
that somehow.
Cool.
All right.
Well, let's get to the
Let's get to
Number
the,
3.
the best one.
the best one.
Well,
Uh,
I mean, for
is-
summer at least.
Is this the one that you're like so hyped about?
Yes.
Oh, you get
Yeah,
to
I-
shove people. Yeah.
It was actually kind of
Yeah.
neat. The first time I played
Snips.
this Super Summer Ninja Pool Party Supreme game, I didn't understand you can charge up the pushes and you can like use volleyballs to knock people around. So there's a lot of mechanics in here, and I had to play it a couple times to figure it all out. And even though there's like a controls thing, but I'm so terrible about reading the manual.
This is the best
Look at how cute
character.
they are. They're just like
Mhm.
they're just like ready to get shoved around. Okay, so this guy.
Music is awesome.
Boom.
Yeah, now you have to run away from the from like the lifeguards, because the lifeguards catch you, then you're boned, and they take all your stamina away.
The water effect is cool.
Okay.
Yeah. Where are these
uh.
people coming from?
Oh, okay, hang on. What
Is
if I
it
could?
just raining?
They're just parachuting in.
I was trying to show the lifeguard in. Yeah, this one I got caught up in for a while because it was just like silly fun to show these people around. Oh no! No! They got me.
Mob.
Oh,
No!
they're mobbing you?
Yeah, they're getting me
What
because
is
I
that
shoved the
guy
guy,
doing to
and
you?
so the
What happens? Look,
oh, there we go. They
Do they try to get you in?
the lifeguards will drain all your stamina, so you can't shove people
is he
around,
face
and you have a
down?
time
He's
limit.
just completely dead.
This is kind of brutal. Come on.
No one survives.
Oh
getting
yeah,
shoved
no,
in the
you
pool.
shove them in and they die. No,
Why-
get away from me! Get away from me!
Why are these people
This
who,
is intense. Oh,
who can't swim hanging out by a
no,
pool?
get away!
Yeah, that person's way
Seriously,
dead, dude.
yeah, face down.
Oh my god.
Is there any AOE attacks?
Goodbye.
That would be nice.
oh,
Yeah,
let's
just like
see
do like
here.
a blast them all away from you.
I'm trying to remember what button was the actual.
What is he doing?
Come on, get a volleyball.
If they smack me, that'll happen. I'm trying to
Oh.
find. Oh, here it is. All right.
Oh yeah, you can throw.
Good work.
Yeah, that was
Eh.
effective.
Get in the water. No.
Aw.
Aw.
Oh, these people might be my new tattoo.
That's pretty fantastic. Okay.
Okay.
All
yeah.
right.
Get a multiplayer.
Congratulations
Yeah.
to all the winners.
Oh, so much pool murder.
So yeah, just a reminder, all the winning teams will be receiving an epic swag bag with all kinds of goodies in it, including this shirt, which actually Shelly took some better pictures of, me showing off. Boom, there I am.
That's
With
what I was paying
Alexander's
attention
great
to.
face.
Yeah.
And there's a back shot here where Ray's super happy about it.
No.
We'll
Do not
show
approve.
we'll show the month and the theme on the back of them. Everybody should have had theirs so far, or pretty close if they're not there, on their way to either us or you, except for, I believe, we're waiting on a couple people from May.
Yeah.
So if you're in May and you haven't got your stuff, it's because we haven't got your
Yeah, I'm gonna
information
keep
yet.
trying to email people and send them forum messages. So just hit me up if you haven't got anything.
Yeah, definitely. And so yeah, finally getting caught up on those. Sorry it took like
Yep,
quite
all
a bit of
yours.
time to get there, but we're really glad that it's all rolling out now.
Oh,
and
thanks.
we'll probably have it announced for the September timeframe next week. And then a reminder again, just quick tease, October, the 1 year is going to be a bit bigger, so definitely keep an eye out for that. We're planning some really great things for the 1 year anniversary.
Cool.
So, yeah, keep an eye out. And for 9,
Yeah, we're gonna do the fun stuff now.
I guess
Yeah.
so.
Yep. We sure are.
Is this gonna be?
yeah.
Is this the pun time?
Is it, we can go into puns here.
You would.
It's gonna be
wouldn't you?
frickalicious.
It will be.
Be careful though.
Like, seriously, I'm getting an ulcer from the puns.
No,
Uh,
they're
And
so good.
also, you have your slides over there, Mike.
Cool.
They're in
Oh.
Chrome. There's minimized.
Yeah, I'll
Great.
get those in a bit.
Perfect. Just
Okay.
I'm gonna redo this. I want the starter content next time.
Oh, okay.
starter
New
content.
project.
Yeah, before 9.
4-9.
let's
It's
see.
coming out.
It's coming out. A few things I want to go over. As usual, I want to thank community contributors. We
Yeah.
have almost 130, I think 129
Mhm.
community contributions
Yeah.
to 4.9, which is
Just
awesome.
Fantastic.
Mostly like tons of bug fixing, but also like 24 features too, like mostly
Awesome.
small features, but still thanks so much for getting that
yeah.
stuff to us.
Looking at the list too, there's your standard guys that come in here all the time. You got Katatis, Aller, John Alcatraz is even in there, and a few other people like Moritz. But a lot of new names too that I haven't seen yet that have been contributors. So it's really great to see the GitHub community actually growing and participating in here. It's
Yep.
super awesome. So next week you'll all be getting your engine contributor badges as well
Yep.
in the forums, and you can show off and be like, I did that.
Yeah.
That's pretty. So next week they'll have them as soon as it
As soon as
As soon as it
awesome.
launches, we'll
Live.
flip them all
Yeah.
live. Yep.
Yeah, that's
And
cool.
we've got a lot of repeat people too, so
Yeah.
give them 2 badges.
A few things real quick. I'm going to do, so it's going to be fun. We're going to do a short demo of some of the new content browser features. And then we're going to go in and I just basically threw together a slide deck of just like cool pictures of kind of some of the new features. We listed a lot of the big new features kind of on the forum post for 4.9 preview, but we thought like, hey, it's more fun if we just show kind of what they are
Do it live,
and
yeah.
talk kind of
Yep.
like roughly share some of the excitement. Before that, just a few things that people are asking on the forums. I just want to, so Visual Studio 2015 support is work in progress for us. We don't quite have it yet, so you're stuck with 2013 and 4.9. We're certainly hoping the next release will have full support for it.
Well,
but
and possibly once we go live, they can pull that from GitHub ahead of 4.10, right?
yes, in fact, today, if you go on GitHub, if you grab the master branch, we haven't tried it from GitHub, but it should work. If you grab it from GitHub,
Should
you
be working.
Yep. You
Cool.
have to pass -2015 to your project file generation command line, but if you do that, then it should be good to go. Certain features are disabled with 2015 just because we're waiting on third-party libraries from like the per4 source control plugin is
Still,
it's just disabled so we'll get all this straightened out. It's just next release hopefully we'll get that going. DX12, people ask about DX12 stuff. So in 4.9, DX12 will be enabled if you have a Windows 10 computer. It's super experimental. Don't really know how well. I haven't even seen it with a lot of our sample content. So, but it's in there. You can start trying it out, and then obviously we'll continue to improve it and make it official.
Yeah, I talked to Nick about that this morning too. Does that require also command line flip over too?
It does.
Or is it
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
You run with -DX12.
Got it.
Command line. Yep. So you can try that out too with the next release and give us feedback. Trying to think of anything else. Windows 10 it still works fine. Like as far as I know, I don't have any issues with it.
Yeah, I've been using it at home, no problem whatsoever.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
same here.
A lot of support guys have been using it. So
Yep.
Yeah.
So it seems to work great with the engine and the tools. So don't be afraid to upgrade for UE4 reasons at least. Cool. Okay, let's do this content browser demo.
Woohoo.
So just going to show off kind of the cool collection features in 4.9. So because I think there's some kind of it's hard to really convey how useful this stuff is in kind of release notes or whatever. So okay, you guys are used to kind of the content view here, of course. I turned off the show folders just so I can navigate a little more quickly. And then under here we have collections. Collections are off by default because you start out when there is none. But as soon as you turn them on, or if your team starts using them, definitely they're a lot better in 4.9. In 4.8, they were there. You could put things in them. Basically, you could do this in 4.9. You could create a collection to say like whatever, like favorites. Well, I have caps lock on, but and then you could go in and like, cool, okay, I'm going to be working with this light and this ball, multi-select, and kind of drag them in. And that's kind of what you could do with 4.8. Like that's pretty much it. And then you could have this local collection and
Flip through them,
yep,
yeah.
and that's pretty much it. So now we kind of have nested collections. So I can say I want to make like a collection like, oh, let's see, whatever, like shiny stuff. And then I can go and say, hey, I want to actually get a little more deeper here, and I want to say I want a sub collection called red stuff, and then another one that's just like whatever, you get the idea, silver stuff. And then I go through and I can go and just like I'll just type red to save myself some pain here. Well, there's actually not much red stuff.
Yeah, not in the starter content.
Jeez.
So is this Unreal Engine
Oh, I bet there is,
Collector's
yeah.
Edition?
Collection edition.
From the chat.
So grab some red stuff,
Thanks, Jan.
The puns are still coming.
grab some silver stuff. So you can see like this is one way you can go and put things in collections just by dragging it in. Looks like it's loading something. Oops.
There's some shaders, yeah.
Yep. And then you can see like when I did that, a little checkbox appeared. So this is kind of a cool thing too. You can easily add things to collections by basically just, hey, I want to select this guy here. He's whatever, like kind of red, kind of silver, and I can just add him to favorites and red stuff and silver stuff. And you can do that with multiple things selected. And you can see if I have two things selected, it shows kind of the ambiguous symbol, and then you can take it out of them all and put them in. Anyways, it's kind of this cool, nice topology for organizing stuff outside of directory structure, because directory structure, everything's in one place. Here you can have kind of this other layer on top. And you can share this with your team members by converting these to shared collections, which means they'd end up in source control.
Well,
Other people wouldn't see them.
Could you not share them, and that way, like the art pipeline can continue to load things into its own way, but you as a designer might want to have your stuff organized a specific way.
Yeah, I think that's the best part of this, right?
Wow.
Everybody can have their own structure. I don't know if you're familiar with Google Sheets. You can do like filter views where you have your own customized view of it that doesn't
That blew my
disrupt.
mind when I saw that the other day.
Yeah, it doesn't disrupt what everybody else is
Yeah.
doing, right?
So this is very similar. So local just means it's on your hard drive. Means like if you don't back it up, it's going to be gone. Private means it's checked into source control. It's with your project, but it has your name on it, and other people don't see it. So that's usually where you want yours if you're working with the team. If you don't want to just spam everyone else's filter list.
And that way you can share it across multiple machines that you're working on, right?
Oh yeah, good point.
Yeah.
And shared is where, hey, I want everyone to see this by default.
Yeah.
And that's something like, we have tools actually, this is something that we'll be working on in the future, where like a tool that will audit content and generate a shared collection for you. Basically like, hey, we found these meshes with bad light map UVs or whatever, like that, right? Good team content management tools. Okay, so one more thing I want to show here with collections is that we have this cool, I'm going to kind of divert and show a different feature first because it relates to it. But we have advanced search now in content browser. So now you can do stuff like, hey, show me meshes with triangle counts greater than 100 and vertices greater than 100. So you can see like, oh, cool. And I can just say like, 1,000 instead. And so you can see like these kind of smart queries. And it's easy to kind of add these new things that can be searched for. Like I can search for like, textures that are sRGB. I think it's like type, maybe tag sRGB. Okay, I don't know the prefix, but anyways, you get the idea. So you can have kind of these cool filters. Oops. So let's just make one called triangles greater than 1,000 and say that this is going to be like high-res stuff. What I can do is click this new save button over here and save this as its own collection. So now it's like a smart collection, right? So, and we'll say high-res. And so this is special, it has this little lightning bolt, meaning it's just automatic.
It's a dynamic one, yeah.
It's totally dynamic. So everyone who looks at this you'll basically be always seeing the up-to-date search results. So it's like just save search results. You can see how you could kind of build pretty elaborate ones here that could give you quickly access to useful information. To actually make something like triangles is a special thing. That's controlled by what's called the asset registry searchable flag in the code. So where you're defining a property of one of your asset objects, like say I had a texture and I wanted the width and height or dimensions, say. I could put asset registry searchable on dimensions, and then it would immediately be typable in here to query by it for all your game's content.
When do I get to search for like blueprint functionality?
Specific
Yeah, it'd be
features?
awesome. Or like events that are exposed or something.
Things that have certain interfaces, I would love that.
Yeah,
Some things are exposed now. I don't know which of those, but this is something that probably what we need is a way to see all of the different searchable things in here.
Yeah.
So you can see like, hey, what's my palette of different thing choices I can have? I don't think we
Yeah,
have that
yeah,
yet.
yeah. But it's a great start, right? We can
Yep.
start building on this.
Anyway, so this is cool. I think it'll be a lot more popular now. Collections will be useful. You can think of collections almost like a tagging system. It can be used as collections or tags now, which is kind of a cool feature we had in Unreal Engine 3 that didn't make it until now.
Yeah, that's one thing that was really nice, was to be able to just say, like, at first it was confusing because I would pull UT and it has everything in collections mode or in regular package mode, but once you kind of get it, it's like you can start organizing things in a way that, really make a lot of sense and they can really improve your workflows.
Yeah, no, it reminds me of the terrible query system that I had for UE3 tagging system. I don't know if you remember that terrible thing.
I think I did. I think I ripped that out.
Yeah, I think you were the one that deleted my code.
Well, hey, we needed something.
It proved the concept, right?
Yeah.
Which eventually led to content browser and all this good stuff. right?
Totally. Okay, so that's the live kind of part of this. I thought I could do that really quick. And then kind of next, let me find this spreadsheet or this presentation.
All right.
See what happens here. Just kind of want to go
Should
through.
be able to present.
Ta-da.
Yeah, cool.
Yep, working.
Sweet.
Magic.
Anyways, I'll just quickly skim. I don't know how much time we have. Maybe 20 minutes or something.
Yeah.
Quickly skim through these and just talk about kind of some of the. This isn't everything. We're working on the full release notes. The full release notes will be out with the release. They're huge. They're like 80 pages. So
Yeah, it's a lot.
You know the usual.
Yeah.
But so this is just some of the highlights that we thought are showable. So VR, really cool stuff. We've been
Yeah.
working really hard on VR.
Yeah, no, it's been awesome, and Whiting has been Nick Whiting up in Seattle has been working on making sure we have good haptic feedback controls and all that.
Yep.
And for you guys working with Oculus, you probably know that the SDK was just rev to 0.7, I think it is, and so we're updating support for that.
Yep.
But yeah, it's super awesome, by the way. If you have the opportunity, hopefully the touch controllers and then the Lighthouse controllers from Vive are more readily available. We're having a ton of fun.
We are.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
I can't tell you
We love
exactly what we're doing, but we are putting something new together that we hope to show in the next month or so, and it's ridiculous, actually. So
Yep. It's going to just be so fun. So
reach out and touch in VR is so amazing.
It is. It really is transformative. It's like this whole other set of experiences you can have. Anyways, so 4.9 we have motion controller components to make it easy to add motion controller support to your game. You don't have to really dick around too much with writing a whole bunch of custom blueprint stuff or C++ stuff. You can just plop a motion controller component on your guy, and you'll have HTC Vive controller support. And then in the future, we'll have PlayStation Move, Oculus Touch, of course, which we have working now.
Maybe even like we use the same format for the Razer controllers.
The
and
Hydra, and the stem. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So all these we have working in some form of another here. They're just not quite ready to ship yet.
Yeah.
But the Vive controllers are working really well.
And hopefully
good
we
enough for us, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to rush stuff in to make these demos.
Yeah, well, and our hope too is we can have like a nice common interface across all the peripherals so that
Yep.
You always have a guaranteed set of functionality of like basic
Well,
tracking and
I should
haptic.
mention that real quick is that with 4.9 we revamped the controller bindings. So a lot of stuff changed with the Steam VR plugin. So all the controls are remapped now. It no longer is this weird thing where like each controller is a whole separate controller for a separate pawn.
Player controller.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got rid of all that weird stuff. So it's much more normal. It's abstracted now. So all the controllers. If you add support for one controller, it should work with future controllers. And there's a whole new set of motion control specific keybinds for the buttons that you tend to find on these controllers. So rather than the normal face buttons, we have like grip buttons and left and right triggers, left and right bumpers. So it should be much more future proof.
When are we adding like the gesture libraries?
Oh, I don't know. I have to check with Nick. Yeah, I know he's adding haptics right now. So
Yeah.
that'll be cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, VR, super cool. So you might have seen this in the features preview on the forums, but we have this kind of full scene GPU particle collision. I have a few screenshots of this one.
Yeah, it allows you to do some pretty ridiculous thing. I know they're putting it to use on Fortnite, right?
Oh, I didn't know that yet.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think some of
sweet.
the original. Yeah, it's looking awesome.
Yeah, and this is the one you may have seen videos that Daniel Wright shared on Twitter a while back, right? Where it's just like
Daniel writes on Twitter. What?
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course he is.
I know.
just particles going everywhere
Yeah.
across everything. And
I might have these on here.
Yeah.
So this is different. We had GPU particles before, and we had GPU particle collisions, but it was a screen space depth trick. So really, if you weren't looking at it,
It had some
didn't happen.
limitations. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And,
Oh, wow.
and it definitely had some quality issues, but it's all trade-offs. This type of particle collision requires you to use distance fields for your game, so mesh distance fields has to be enabled, and you also use this kind of global distance field thing, which I'll talk about in a second. It's
Yeah.
kind of another.
Yeah, this is the one.
Oh yeah, it
snowing.
collects the snow.
Yeah,
this
I
is really great.
want to say weather effects in Fortnite is exactly what they had in mind for this stuff. So
Yeah, it's awesome,
it's
right?
looking fantastic.
Ah, it's great.
This is one.
Yeah,
Oh, this
this-
is just
yeah.
fantastic. I remember making a GIF of this and being like, I have to show this to everyone.
No, this is running like on a 560, right? I'm just kidding.
MacBook Air, yeah. 2011. Yeah.
Cool.
Man, that is just awesome.
Yeah, fun stuff. We're gonna see really cool stuff.
Wow.
We're already seeing some
Bam.
cool stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
so this is kind of the next part of this. So that relies on this global distance field, and so does this feature. This is mesh distance field materials. So now in your material, you have kind of this new node that lets you figure out, hey, what's the closest the closest distance to anything, right? That's kind of what it is. The nearest thing that has a distance field on it. So you can. It's really good for doing these kind of like, hey, I want to fade out when I'm close to something type of effect. But you can also use it to do like pretty cool computation stuff too, which I'll show in a sec. But anyways, this is kind of what it looks like. If you have generate mesh distance fields on, it's the picture on the right here. If you're casting through it, it's very tight and fine-grained distance fields.
Right.
But we can't possibly trace through everything in a material because it's not this one thing. But this global distance field on the left it's a lower resolution distance field. It's basically like, the way that I understand it is 3 or 4 volume clip maps that are generated as you move the camera around and then update it if objects move or the camera moves. So it's updated all the time, but it's on the cheap because it's fairly low resolution.
Yeah.
So if you have this feature enabled, basically you have access to this game-wide global distance field map that you can just use in all your materials and do crazy stuff with on the GPU.
And I'm sure in real time too, like you say, low resolution there, but with the complexity of the shaders and everything else that's going on, you're not going to see much of a difference.
I
in
hope
that,
not.
right?
Yeah, yeah, it seems that way. And this is a visualization of the 4 clip maps, the volume texture clip maps. So you
Wow.
can see like, it's kind of like cascaded shadow maps. You get lower resolution in the distance because you don't need that detail. And these are pictures of Fortnite. And then this is something the community member made, which I thought is like really awesome.
Balloons.
Gosh, I had his name right here, but this is just using basically like soft body physics using the global distance field, which is pretty awesome. It's like cool stuff that you can do.
That's great.
And there's another one that he did too, which is dynamic
Yeah,
flow
the water.
maps.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Oh wow.
really, really cool. Basically, like the flow of the water will dynamically. Normally, this is something that statically an artist has to put a lot of
Yeah.
very volatile
Well,
effort into.
Yeah, they would fake the hell out of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can just dynamically figure it out. That's awesome.
Yeah, pretty cool. This flows around the rock. Skip around a little bit.
Cool.
This is all happening in real time too. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Isn't that neat?
See, that would be nice to play a game and suddenly, like, you could see nature change like that and actually have it dynamically update.
It's like, when have we seen like rivers done well in games? It's really hard to do these.
Yeah,
Usually they're
like-
all smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, this is
So
really,
it's
really
like
good.
Skyrims are all just pre-made. Yeah.
fantastic.
It's gonna be really cool. Oh,
Cool.
So, another new graphics
Ah,
feature.
yay.
Yeah.
So light mask now has support for ray traced area shadows. Before they were always kind of like a consistently thick or thin penumbra, I should say, because they're pretty much like
Pretty tight, yes.
yeah, pretty tight, or uniformly tight. You could configure it, but it was uniform. So now you can set a kind of like a light source angle on your stationary lights, and you'll get this kind of effect, and you can configure it however you want. And my understanding is it doesn't add any runtime overhead, and it adds very little light mass overhead. So it's just kind of a cool new feature. Just try it out and see if you're.
Yeah, more lighting tools, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
just tweak them till they look right for the space,
Yep.
right?
It's
like
like
what-
Yeah.
Again, it's stationary lights, so you know the light source doesn't move in this case. These are all ray trace shadows offline, but
Yeah.
So-
Let's see what Kula comes up with using this stuff.
Seriously. Cool. What else we got? Ambient occlusion mask. So this view here is one of our samples that has this new kind of basically it takes the ambient occlusion that light mask calculates and exposes that to materials. So what you'd see here is white wherever there's kind of crevices, and black wherever it's kind of just open and there's no self-occlusion. And you can see, like, if you take that mask in a material, you can kind of do some interesting things with it, where you take that mask and kind of, you know, randomly apply like a texture around where there's crevices, right? And that's kind of like this just a new feature that we weren't sure if it would be like super useful or not, but we can see the artists having fun with it here, so we thought it'd be fun for you guys to try.
Very cool. Call that
It's-
auto grunge.
Oh yeah, auto grunge, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's nice too because it gives you some like world space uniqueness, not this kind of like, oh, I put grunge into a texture and the tiles everywhere. Now it's
Right.
it's kind of nice to
Yeah.
always have that. Just wanted to get this in here. Basically, distance field AO, which is this kind of awesome feature. If you're able to use distance field meshes, distance fields on your meshes, you get kind of really nice AO and really nice skylighting. So if you're able to use that in your game, now the quality is much higher. Before it was, I don't have the before on here, but it was really crispy and kind of like a little bit crunchy looking.
Yeah.
So looks a lot better, and it's between 1.4 and 6 times faster too. So it's like better frame rate too. It's kind of nice.
Cool.
Just show this one here too real quick, because I think this is a cool feature. It's just another one that's really hard to show. But so we've always had like post-process blending, but we made that kind of less clunky in 4.9. Basically now you have your post-process settings on your volume here as normal, but you have this kind of blendables list, and on the blendables list, each blendable has a weight value. Of course, you could like change this on the fly or whatever, and you can either specify like sets of post-process settings to blend to inline on the object. This is kind of why I want to explain it, because it's hard to convey in really sense. But you can either express it inline, or you can make a whole asset and save it as an asset that's reused between multiple post-process volumes and many maps. Like it's something that we really couldn't do very easily before. So we kind of have the best of both worlds now, hopefully. And then you can go and encode, or blueprints is an example of blueprints where I'm kind of adjusting the weight on the fly between different things. And of course, these blendables have their own kind of weighting here too, so you can fade in based off distance, and we had that working before too. But hopefully you guys like the changes here to make it more flexible to do cool blending between different post-process sets. Mobile. So I guess maybe we'll do more in-depth mobile on a future talk. But
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Hopefully next week we get Jack Porter in.
that'd be awesome. Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
our.
We haven't talked to him yet about it. We'll have to dial him in for Korea.
Yeah.
But we'll make it work.
We'll
Yeah.
make him get up at whatever
Skype
4
in.
a.m.
Yeah.
Sure.
So it'd be great to have them out here to talk
Yeah.
about. They're doing all kinds of awesome things to
I
make
love this.
Yeah.
mobile and web experiences
Beautiful.
better. So this is HTML5, and most of the stuff we'll talk about here works on web browser and on your Android or iPhone. So we have point lights. They don't cast shadows, but they're still cool. We have actual character shadows now. Yay! Character shadows on mobile. This is huge, right?
Awesome.
Yeah. Long overdue. What's that weird posture? I thought he was doing like a finger puppet there for a second. The screenshot.
He's actually looking at somebody else and squishing their head.
Yeah.
It's squishy.
They're modulated character shadows, so they're very efficient. They're kind of done like the old school PC shadow way, which is super fast for mobile and you can turn on for stuff, and it's not going to be too slow. But I think this will work on PC too if you wanted to. But
Yeah,
it's
if you were-
modulated, so it's just basically darkening the scene.
Yeah, it gives me valuable if you were making something super low end target. Yeah.
Definitely. Good scalability option.
Yep.
And then we have decals on mobile finally.
Dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun.
This is really important too. So
Interesting.
Also, you can summon the Dark Lord.
Yeah, I'm saying interesting choice of decal art,
Yeah.
but okay.
Cool. Okay, so
Oh, HLODs.
HLODs. This is pretty cool tech that we added in 4.8 that we're just continuing to improve, and I think we'll continue to improve it in future releases.
Yeah, I think our internal teams have found a lot of love for it as well, so
Yep.
which is helping. Yeah.
So before you didn't really have a whole lot of control over how things got clustered, and now you can kind of plop down. So this is this first screenshot shows you kind of like how the automatic system would have clustered your LODs if you built hierarchical LOD for your map. And now you can kind of plop down these volumes, HLOD volumes, and you can say like, hey, I really like this stuff to go together, kind of like an obvious thing, right? But we finally have that now. And I want these to be LOD together, and there can be different reasons for why you'd want to do that. Sometimes efficiency, sometimes quality, or whatever. But now you have that power, and then this is kind of the result. This kind of view here is also kind of new. Now we have support for rather than having to like, hey, build LODs for your whole map just to see how things are going to turn out. You can do this build a preview mode. So under the build menu, there's a, hey, I want to just preview HLODs. And rather than doing anything, it just like shows you what it will do and how things will be split up.
Well, we should probably take a step back. I don't know everybody knows what HLODs are necessarily. So just basic high level, it's just ability to automatically merge meshes and their materials in an efficient manner. So as you can see, we pan away, you're able to seamlessly swap into something that's much more performant, right? So great for any game, any project, really, right?
The idea is that you have a city that's made up of a million meshes, maybe, right? But from a distance, the city's just one mesh. And
Yeah, and with this, you're able to make the transition at the point where you cannot detect it because it's effectively, same pixels on screen. Yeah.
One caveat though is, so we'll merge your meshes and we'll merge LEDs that you create. But unless you have Simplygon license or whatever, this will hook up to Simplygon if you have it. But if you don't, the best we can do is we can merge your meshes for you and merge your LEDs and try to re-atlas your materials. But if you want to have like really nice, like currently we rely on Simplygon to get really nice automatic new material creation.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'd say Simplygon produces great results in
awesome.
automatic LEDs, so definitely recommended.
Yep. Cool. So that's improvements to HLOD.
And like I said, our internal teams are using that as well, and I think there will be some quality improvements and maybe even some performance stuff, I think.
Yep.
So look for that post 4.9.
Okay.
Cool.
Next one, just a cool feature I want to drop because it's another one that you see in the resistance and be like, what the hell is this thing? Because it's really hard to kind of. But anyways, we have this runtime asset cache thing. It's pretty cool, especially if you're making like a mobile game or something, or if you have a game where a lot of stuff can just come down kind of procedurally. So imagine you have character portraits, right? That they can make up their own character. So you could have any number of these, but you want to keep them on your local device so that you don't have to regenerate them or re-download them all the time. Well, this runtime asset cache lets you have define different buckets of asset types that it will just keep a cache of these on the local hard drive for you. And it will automatically handle like, hey, like, oh, you filled up your cache of the size that you defined, and then let you know that you need to get the texture from wherever you got it from or whatever asset type it is. So it's just kind of convenient, like just local asset storage for stuff that either comes down off the wire or things that you're generating on the local client procedurally. So lots of cool things you could probably use it for, and it's just a totally generic system. There's going to be more information in the release notes about it.
Yeah, so this is sort of the advanced feature.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and honestly, like Unreal Engine has a ton of kind of like under the hood features that are made for like high-end games that
especially as you go to ship, right?
Exactly.
And you identify these sort of things that are important to.
And this is kind of like part of what it's part of what our bread and butter is.
Well, a lot of these are we build these for our own games and then package up in a way that everybody can use them, right? Because it's caching is pretty applicable to every project out there. So.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, just a nice change to UMG. So now if you're using in-world widget components, they can support depth sorting, so they'll be sorted against other components and themselves. That's just kind of a nice little change there. We're trying to continuously improve support for in-world UI.
Yeah.
That's it.
Love it.
Oh, a bunch of blueprint changes that just go through real quickly. This
Oh
is,
my God.
that's right.
Multiple return
I knew you're
nodes.
gonna love this one.
It was probably like a year ago.
Get
I think
hyped.
I asked for this. Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah.
So no longer do you have to do this crazy maze to try and use a bunch of select statements to try and get your one return value to rule them all.
Or or export. your integer.
Yeah, it's local variables all over the place.
Yeah, that was my local variables, set them and then
All right.
go. And
I'm
then
done, guys. I'm good.
Yep.
That's all I need to
Best,
say.
best feature. I couldn't tell you how many streams that was like a question. Like, so when multiple returns, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because I think John Alcatraz has been talking about this for quite some time. He's in
Oh,
the
yeah.
chat, just got a +1.
Nice.
People going,
All right.
"Yay."
Cool.
So we're listening. We're trying. So we got more improvements. So Blueprint asset IDs. This is another kind of on the advanced side feature. This lets you reference an asset in a way that it won't cause it to be loaded. So this is cool, right? Because you can say, hey, I'm going to need this asset in your blueprint, and then later you can decide when it becomes loaded. But it'll still be a pointer to that asset. You don't have to worry about like loading it by name or anything sketchy like that. It's like a real pointer to the asset, and if the asset got renamed, it'd still be hooked up. But it doesn't need to be loaded. So you load it later using this kind of resolve node whenever you want during your game. And if it's not resolved, then this will just return null, and you can go on with life being like, oh, cool, it's not loaded yet. I'll just wait till it becomes loaded. So you can see like this is kind of super important for games where you're managing memory. Cool. Oh, and you can do this not just with asset IDs, but asset class IDs, so you can load classes later too, because sometimes classes in Unreal can be quite beefy too. They can reference a lot of stuff. Cool. Nice little thing here from probably Mr. Nolan or something. Math expressions are now actually like very performant.
Even smarter, yeah.
Yep, so they're very fast, where before they were kind of inefficient, but now whatever math you would have unrolled yourself, if you just type it into the math expression box, it will execute much more quickly. So just use it. It's easier to read anyway. In my opinion.
Like no, the expression node since we introduced it has been awesome.
It's probably way easier to tweak too, right? Like, oh crap, I accidentally divided when I needed.
No, and it automatically regenerates everything for you.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys. I have trouble reading.
Yeah, it does not
unrolled.
Math was otherwise a weakness, I think, in blueprints, right? But the expression node definitely solves that. So.
Yeah. Okay, I'll get through a few of these. This is another feature that's been requested a lot, access to class default objects in Blueprint. So
absolutely.
Yep, all the defaults for any of your blueprints or native classes you can now get at, and
this is huge.
Yep, it's critical, right? So that's all there now. You get the class, the stuff is immutable. You can't go and change the class. That's kind of bad.
Yeah, but in the past, like you'd have to create like a side-by-side structure, array table or something like that, right? So this makes it much simpler. Yeah.
Yeah, this should be really nice.
Cool.
Okay. Level blueprint comms. Another one that's requested a lot is people use level blueprints, but they have sublevels or streaming levels, and they can't like talk between them. And now using level interfaces, you can do that.
Yeah, love that. Get level, man. That's awesome.
Excelsior.
Yep. Wow. So cool. Oh, and this is probably my favorite one, honestly, even better than return values, because I run into this all the time. But basically, before we had like spawn actor, and now you can kind of construct anything you want, not just spawn actor. So you can just construct an object like you would in C++ of any class, including blueprint classes, anything you create. You can just construct it and kind of manage its lifetime yourself. So this is really powerful. When I think this will, once you start using this, it will open up a lot of kind of superpowers where before you would have done weird things like making kind of actors that would be like a object manager type thing for your game, and you'd make it out of an actor. And why is it an actor? There's no reason for it to be an actor, right? It's just because it's all you could spawn in Blueprint was an actor. So now a lot of these subsystems can be these kind of lightweight objects, just like they would in C++. And I think you'll end up building your game architecture out of a lot more custom objects and constructing them and managing their lifetime just like we would in C++ code.
Yeah. Well, and then you're sidestepping all the extra stuff that actor brings to the table, right?
Actor's pretty heavyweight construct.
And this is really nice too. Custom exposed variables, so you can have that up front there and set it upon construct as opposed to throwing return out and then polling it and then writing it.
This is really going to do a lot for modularity and stuff. That's cool.
It will. That's totally true, right? Like you can make classes now that are just like very lightweight, not tied to the actor model.
Yeah, we can get rid of actor finally.
Just get rid of it.
Just
delete it. It is true. You could make a game without using actors.
Sorry, Docs team. Whatever.
But yeah, you could make a lot of gameplay without using actors and just writing your own architecture if you wanted to.
Yep. Cool.
A few last things. It's just a few animation features. There actually is a bunch of animation stuff in this release I didn't put here because it's a little more nitty-gritty. It's in the release notes. But just some of the more visual stuff. We have this whole new kind of timing system for montages, so you can kind of like set up the timing and see it on this new timing track, because sometimes the order that events fire is very important. So that's kind of a nice improvement there. And then also we have nonlinear animation blending, which is another thing that people have been asking for forever. Yep. So you can choose from a bunch of preset, or you can choose custom, and then custom you can name it and make it an asset and draw a curve.
I don't know why you would use a wobble blend, but it's technically feasible now.
Yep. That's kind of all I had there. So let's do some questions if we got time.
Thanks for watching.
Yes. All right.
Yeah, so we've got a few queued up here.
Right.
Let's see.
There's so much 4.9 stuff I didn't even have time to even think about talking about the 4.10 stuff, the feature stuff. So we'll just save that for a future day.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Well,
Usually I
it
always
is
give like a little
4.10.
teaser, but there's just so much 4.9 stuff.
Yeah.
Any info on blueprints being usable with foliage tool at all?
I
Still
don't think
completely
so.
separate.
I'd have to talk to Jack.
Yeah, I haven't heard
Jack.
anything about that.
Since
Right
we're
on.
gonna already have him on for the other thing as well.
I'm guessing it's unlikely just because foliage is foliage because it needs to be
Right.
high performance.
Yeah, and
So-
blueprints is would probably any kind of
Like we're not going to run
interactivity.
construction
Cool.
scripts for foliage.
Nope.
Thing.
Do we have any plans for stereoscopic 3D that's more suitable for screens as opposed to HMD?
That's a good question. That's probably better for Nick Whiting. We can follow up on.
I've
but
heard that we're trying to decouple the two, so like
Yeah.
stereo, non-HMD stereo is better. Right now it's a little bit coupled up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we have basically one interface for any of those, right? Along those lines, the other thing we're working on getting in is auto export to stereo video from your Unreal experience.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so the use case they were thinking is like, Showdown or VR experience. It's hard for people to see it because unless you happen to be a G2C or whatever, right?
Yeah,
So this way you could export it to a 360 video, then you could use it like on a Gear VR or
Yeah.
even Google Cardboard potentially. So that I don't know, it's not in 4.9, but it should be part of 4.10. So.
I got a good question for you there, Ray.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
How long did it take for you to grow that amazing beard?
It's
Well.
actually, you're pretty good.
Yeah,
Like,
that
I-
one looks like it came in fast, right?
I would say growing is not the problem, right? So.
Yeah.
I don't know. No, I don't know. There's not a good answer to beard growing. Sorry.
It's really not.
We should just have him and Kreiner come on and just do a beard
I
stream.
shaved before the stream.
Yeah.
We should. Yeah. Anyway. Let's see.
Yeah, right.
Looking
Wax.
real quick
Wax before the stream.
here.
Has anything changed with widget creation?
Yeah, that's what I was grabbing now. Anything changed for widget creation for UMG? I mean, I'm sure.
I think so.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
No.
Not for
we-
creation specifically, but
We'll have some new features coming up after 4.9 for
Mhm.
performance for UMG.
Well, there's like the invalidation panel
invalidation,
stuff. Yeah.
You'll be able to define
Do you want
sections of your UI that they don't need to think a lot.
Do we want to tease
Freeze
about the
them.
ultimate blueprint improvement for 4.10?
Which one is it?
The experimental, the autogen. Should I even say?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
there's no reason
So
to
it's
talk
not
about
in 4.9, but one thing that we're talking about performance is
Mhm.
automatically generating C++ code, so you can natively execute or get the native execution performance for blueprints, basically.
Yep.
That will be huge, and we're basically. I think where it's at right now is it's experimentally working, and now blueprints obviously is a wide range of functionality, so it's
Mhm.
going to take us a while to verify that it's working as expected.
That's
Yeah.
gonna take a lot of testing, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That's cool. Very cool.
that is awesome.
Yeah.
Any news on accessing TCP connections or anything network improvements in blueprints specifically?
Like
Like,
gas pollard or
Yeah,
something.
raw network access. I don't believe so. Hasn't
Yeah.
been
Probably
really-
still down to C++. I think you kind of want it to be there anyway, right? Like you could try to access it there at blueprints, but that one extra step on something like that would take a
Well,
little bit.
yeah, and you might introduce some unwanted latency going
That's
through
what
the
I'm
blueprint
thinking.
layer, I suppose. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It'd be interesting to see some use cases that people had in mind and figure out best way to do that.
Blutilities, where
Mm.
are we on those?
No
these
changes
days?
since last time, unfortunately. It's still important, but
Yeah.
just keeps getting pushed
Punt-
around a bit.
punted.
Yeah, there's a lot we want to do with writing editor tools in Blueprint. We all really love the idea, but
Hmm.
it's like
Yeah.
it's hard.
Someday.
Yeah.
Not really something that is like dead, for instance. Just not something that we.
Oh no, no,
Oh.
it's gonna happen at some point.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Any plans for reroute nodes in the material editor?
Oh.
That would be
don't
kinda
Is it
cool.
aren't those like blueprint and material editors actually really different
Very,
underneath?
yeah.
But on top, we just kind of aesthetically painted it to look the same.
No, it's not that bad. They,
Oh,
do,
okay.
they do share a lot of code.
Oh, good,
It
good.
used to be much worse. Yeah.
Yeah, they share the nuts and bolts of clicking on things and what they look like are all shared, but largely
I don't
the graph editing features a lot of that.
I don't
We
know.
would want to share more, but
Maybe somebody want to go bribe Noland.
Yeah.
It always comes down to Nolan when it comes to graphs. It's like, hey, Michael, maybe
Yeah.
you do this.
We-
Yeah.
we all know.
Michael's actually in the chat right now,
Yep.
so.
We all know
Michael, why
exactly
don't
what
you go
it's
do that right
Yeah.
now? Thanks.
Material editor needs a lot of love on
Yeah.
niceties that Blueprint editor. We know this.
Well, the other thing is like the team did a great job of improving the blueprint context menu, and I think the material editor is
Mhm.
long overdue because
Yeah.
there's a lot going on in there, right?
Yeah, I totally agree.
Cool.
Let's see.
Okay, a couple more questions.
Yeah, grab a couple more and then we gotta probably roll up. New audio. Yeah, I know we have the. audio
So
guy.
yeah,
Mhm.
Aaron,
Yeah.
Aaron, up in Seattle, he's been slaving away, ripping apart our audio engine as it is in UE4 right now, and he's got some great plans. I think it's probably a ways off until we're really
Yeah.
ready to talk about the features going in there, but it is coming at some point. It is something we're working
It's
on.
probably like a early next year kind of thing before it's experimental, I would say.
Yeah,
That's what I think.
probably.
Maybe in GitHub we could use it. We could have it really early, but
Oh,
I think I can. We'll still improve the existing audio system too. I know there's a
yeah.
series of
No,
improvements.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, like Fortnite is using our existing audio system, right? So
Yep.
there's plenty of requests and all that. Along those lines, like Sequencer is still coming along pretty well, and
Yeah.
I
Awesome,
believe,
yeah.
they
They claimed in the status email I saw yesterday 70% feature parity with Matinee already.
awesome.
And it has a bunch of features that Matinee never had.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So it's coming along really, really fast right now. So exciting.
Cool.
Great.
Yeah.
Let's see. This one's an interesting one.
Oh, the mobile ads and plugins and stuff
yeah,
like that.
I too. Yeah, go for it.
Oh, okay. We can do that one. Well, so as you guys can see, there's a lot of mobile love going into 4.9 from features and performance and Android compatibility, all that kind of good stuff. Because we've got lots of developers talking to us about shipping their games on UE4 mobile, right? And obviously, a big part of being successful mobile games these days is the ecosystem of advertising and analytics and all that kind of stuff. So. I think previously all we had was like Tapjoy integration, but we've been working really hard with, I think from Google. We should publish the whole list of plugins that
It's
come
actually
in.
something that's coming. We're going to do
Okay.
exactly what you just said.
Okay, cool.
So-
We're going to publish the whole list, but basically, yeah, we went out there, we taught a bunch of developers of like, hey, what do you guys use today? What do you need? And we've been working really hard to get that in. So all of that will be available very shortly.
Interesting one here. Any timeline on when we can delete natively declared optional components from blueprints?
No, I don't know the timeline on that. I hear that every so often though.
Is it in Jira somewhere?
Yeah, it might be there.
We could
Stay
add-
tuned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nolan in the chat, he might know, or
When-
one of the Blueprint team members like Mike Beach.
So we can grab a couple more here. Oh
Win-
yeah,
Windows 10 Mobile? What is Windows 10 Mobile?
That's
That's Windows Phone. Right?
I don't know.
Yeah. yeah. Well,
It's universal Windows platform.
Yeah, I assume it's UWP, but I don't know. Is Microsoft even committed to doing a Windows Phone 10?
I assume. Well, they'll do tablets at least, right? So.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Like I said, we run right now in Windows 10 Classic, I think is what they're referring it to, but no UWP support yet.
and then
Yeah.
I'll just grab a couple more here. Let's see. Oh, a shooter game with UMG. I know we were working on that. We talked about it a lot at GDC.
Oh, we actually showed UT.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, did we? Yeah. We showed UT on
But
Steam machines,
The
but
shooter game itself as like as a template for us. Do we know where that currently stands?
I mean, sure, you guys were working fine. Honestly, I don't know what's the status of Steam machine. I don't think anything's really changed yet. We still support it.
I'm talking about
No, they're going to
with
convert it to
UMG.
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 Like it's on
Oh,
Slate right
okay.
now,
Yeah, yeah.
UMG conversion from
Gotcha.
Slate.
I heard of
Yeah.
two. I don't know where it's at.
Yeah, I think that might be. I'll talk to Harrison. I think he might know.
Yeah, Jason, follow up with us that on the forums or hit me up on
Yeah.
the places you know to find me.
And
Cool.
do we know about any new templates? I mean, I'm kind of curious about that. Do we have any
Any
new
new templates
templates
on the way?
maybe on the way?
I have to hit up the docs team and kind of
yeah.
see if there's
Yeah.
anything.
We've got a
around that.
new mobile sample, the Match 3, the team
Yeah.
has put together,
That's
right?
Yeah,
true.
if you've been watching the
Yep, the Tuesday
the
streams
Tuesday
with
streams, they've
there you
been
go.
going
Lauren,
over
Ian, and
that all
Richard.
the time, right?
There's also an ArchViz plugin thing. What is
Well,
that?
that's the Wyeth part of that with the Ronin challenge, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the other thing we're talking about too is getting more VR stuff out there. So
Oh yeah, definitely need
Yeah.
to have a solid VR template.
yeah, cool.
Yeah. And last, we'll get two more, and then we can roll.
One
GI
more.
is back.
One more.
One more you got?
Yeah, one more.
All right, fine. GI is back on the back burner. Any idea when Daniel might be able to focus on it again?
Oh gosh.
I don't know. He's
probably
doing a lot of cool features and performance stuff right now. So I would say it's not. I guess are they talking specifically around the height field stuff that he was experimenting with?
I'm sure if it's something that he's already been working on.
He's
yeah.
kind of always working on that stuff when he's able to work on
Yeah.
features. Like
It's
I
like him
mean,
and
this
Martin,
release
right?
had
Mhm.
the light mass improvements, a few light mass improvements.
Yeah,
so
Yeah.
I imagine he'll always be working on that.
Yeah. It's
Cool.
like him and Martin are always like, well, I mean, this is just what I do when I'm,
Mhm.
kind of.
Yeah.
He is on vacation sabbatical for
No.
one of those. So.
It's all good.
All right. Well, cool. Well, with
All
that,
right.
That's a wrap. Thanks,
Cool.
guys, for hanging out with us. Thanks for
Thanks.
coming
Always
in.
fun.
Thank you.
Yep. Congrats
Yeah.
to those winners.
Yeah, those are
yeah.
awesome.
Congrats
Good
to all
work,
the winners.
guys.
Keep an eye out for the next announcement. Next week we've got another training stream on Tuesday per usual, and yeah, we're still buttoning up what we want to do for next Thursday. But I'm gonna try to get Jack on here so we can talk through some of those new mobile features and stuff.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, Shelly. Thanks everybody in the chat. Take care. See you soon.
All right.
Cool.